Imagine walking into a room. You see someone you've never met before. Within a few seconds, your brain has already made a decision. Friendly, confident, trustworthy, arrogant, intelligent, or maybe someone to avoid. The strange part? You haven't even spoken to them yet. So why does your brain judge people so quickly? The answer goes back thousands of years. Early humans had to make fast decisions. When you met a stranger, you didn't have hours to figure out their intentions. You had seconds. Were they a friend or a threat? Those who made quick judgments were more likely to survive. That ancient survival system still exists today. But in the modern world, it's often wrong. Your brain loves shortcuts. Psychologists call these shortcuts heuristics. Instead of analyzing every detail, your brain makes quick guesses based on limited information. Clothing, facial expressions, body language, voice, even the way someone walks. Within moments, your brain creates a story. The problem is, stories aren't always true. Have you ever met someone you didn't like at first, only to realize later they were kind and genuine? Or trusted someone immediately, only to be disappointed later? That's because first impressions are powerful, but they're not perfect. One of the biggest reasons this happens is something called the halo effect. Here's how it works. If your brain notices one positive quality, like an attractive appearance or a confident smile, it assumes other positive qualities must also be true. You begin to think, they're probably intelligent, they must be successful, they seem trustworthy, even though you have no evidence. The opposite also happens. This is known as the horn effect. One negative detail, a messy appearance, an awkward introduction, or poor eye contact can cause your brain to assume other negative traits. Again, without evidence. Your brain isn't trying to be unfair. It's trying to make quick decisions with limited information. Another fascinating reason we judge people quickly is familiarity. We're naturally drawn to people who remind us of ourselves. People with similar interests, similar values, similar backgrounds, even similar facial expressions. Our brains interpret familiarity as safety. But this creates bias. It can cause us to overlook amazing people simply because they're different. Here's something even more surprising. People also form first impressions of you within seconds. Before you explain your ideas, before you show your skills, before you tell your story, they notice your posture, your tone of voice, your facial expressions, your energy. That's why confidence often communicates before words do. But here's an important reminder. You cannot control every first impression. Some people will misunderstand you. Some will judge you unfairly. Some will make assumptions that have nothing to do with reality. And that's okay, because lasting relationships, friendships, and trust aren't built in seconds. They're built through consistent actions over time. Another mistake many people make is believing their first impression is always accurate. The truth is, your brain loves certainty. Once it creates an opinion, it begins searching for evidence to support it. This is called confirmation bias. If you believe someone is rude, you'll notice every rude thing they do, but you'll ignore their kindness. If you think someone is intelligent, you'll notice every smart comment they make, while overlooking their mistakes. Your brain protects its first conclusion even when it's wrong. This is why keeping an open mind is so important. The smartest people don't rush to conclusions. They stay curious, they observe, they ask questions. Because they know people are far more complex than first impressions. So the next time you meet someone new, remember this. Your first impression is just a hypothesis, not a fact. Give people time. Let their actions speak louder than your assumptions. Because the greatest friendships, the strongest partnerships, And the most meaningful relationships often begin where first impressions end.